Imagine you've already made $70 million and you are just only 7 years old. Now, what are you going to do with the money? To travel the world, to buy mansions by the sea, or to buy golden yacht? I mean, what exactly a 7 years old kid gonna do with $70 million? This is insane. I mean, a lot of money that most people never made throughout their entire lives. But now, by the law, you're not gonna take the money. You don't have access to the money. You are not eligible. You have to wait until you are 21 years old. So thank God you waited, and now you are 21 years old. But then you discovered the greatest shock of your life, because you discovered that your mom, your own mom, had squandered all the money. He had spent all the money throughout luxurious lifestyle and lavish living. Now, what are you going to do with your mom? Are you going to sue her, jail her, or kill her? Well, this is the life of John Leslie Coogan, the first famous and richest actor in the whole world. John Leslie Coogan, also known as Jacky Coogan, was born on October 26, 1916, when he was only just 18 months old. When Jacky was just 4 in Los Angeles, California, while working at the theater with his father, he spontaneously got into the stage and began to perform the shimmy. At the time, the shimmy was a very popular dance, and to see a 4-year-old doing it perfectly on a whim was a very amazing sight to see. The crowd was enthralled and they watched Jacky Coogan doing his thing. And luckily, among the people in the crowd observing the rehearsal was Charlie Chaplin. And at the time, Charlie Chaplin was definitely the biggest film star in the world. He had appeared in many movies, and by that time, he was writing, directing, producing, and also composing all of his own movies. He was virtually a great name in the Hollywood. Charlie Chaplin was blown away by Jacky's natural abilities and his flawless skill profit. That's one of the best contracts for any entertainer in the history of Hollywood. His first contract movie in 1930s with MGM, Tom Sawyer, was the biggest box office draw of the year, ranking more than $11 million, which is about $150 million in today's money. That's a groundbreaking success, which was not bad for a talented teenager. But in spite of the money, Jacky was the money to his name. Under the Californian law at that time, he was not eligible to receive the money until he turned 21 years old. Coogan's childhood career was an epitome of huge success. Sales record climbed to the roof and the money poured in. He traveled in railroad and was sought out by prominent figures. In his word, later in his days, he said, "Other boys went to see Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth came to see me." His fame grew rapidly within a short time. In 1924, when he returned from London, he was mobbed outside and the police had to rescue him from the fans. In Italy, he had private audience with Pope Prime Minister Benito Mussolini, who gave him an autograph inscribed "The Little Great One." In 1924, he was America's top box office draw and eventually the first celebrity film star franchise in history. At one time, his name was on 50 or 60 different items. The money from branded doors, pencil cases, soaps, lunch boxes, and lavish contracts from retailers pegged and pegs to produce Jacky Coogan. The success became overwhelming, and so school activities suffered. At the Santa Clara University, he dropped out of the school due to his poor grade. It was on that chilled and fateful day of May 4th, 1935, when Coogan was just 20 years old, that his whole life began to unravel and turn apart. And it was just 5 months before his 21st birthday, which he had waited for all his life. On that day, he became a sole survivor of a car crash which claimed the life of his father, his 19-year-old best friend, and 3 other people. Coogan could have died, but he was luckily cushioned and saved by bags of dead doves, which they hunted in Mexico with 8 shotguns. Coogan's father was driving at 75 miles per hour when he swerved and crashed down a canyon. The vehicle rolled over 7 times. It came to a stop at the bottom of a creek. When his father died in 1935, Coogan's mother, Lillian, didn't spend much time before he remarried to Arthur Bernstein, who was a lawyer and had so many connections. Then imagine you living all your life full of hope and confidence, knowing that your life and your future is secured. Then suddenly you lost everything within a twinkle of an eye. That was what happened to Coogan. When he finally reached 21, he caught the shock of his life to discover that his money was gone, because his mother and his stepfather, Bernstein, had jointly squandered his money through lavish lifestyle and luxuries. They have bought extravagant clothes, jewelry, expensive cars like Rolls-Royce, diamond mansions, and more. For their main residence, Jacky's mother had purchased the largest house in Los Angeles. The mansion was one of the first private residences in California to have a swimming pool. Bernstein got himself a pocket watch that cost $60,000. Bernstein had friends in high places, top earners, and authorities. When Coogan opted to sue him and his mom, they definitely knew that he was wasting his time. They warned Coogan to drop the silly lawsuit, adding that no red-blooded American boy ever sued his own mother. Now, approximately $250,000 was still left in Jacky's account out of $70 million. But surprisingly, his mother had refused to hand over the $250,000 to Jacky. Jacky's mom was totally strong-hearted as he unremorsefully yelled at the poor Coogan, "Bad boy, it's all mine and Bernstein, and as far as we are concerned, you are not going to get a cent." Later, he told the press, no promises was made to give Jacky anything. Every dollar a kid earns before he is 21 belongs to the parents. The law is on our side. Jacky will never get a cent of his earning. Again, you must not fail the law to be wrong. That's why we must have conscience and sense of reasoning, which governs the humanity. Anyway, due to Lillian's recalcitrance, Jacky had no other choice than to make the heartbreaking decision to sue his own mom. Jacky won the case over his mom. Thank God, but what about the money? After everything was said and done, Jacky was finally able to recover only $35,000 out of the original total sum of $4 million. Understandably, in today's money, that is, he was able to get $582,000 out of $70 million fortune. That was insane. By this time, Jacky was already broke, starting from ground zero already. Now, asking about the effect of the challenges on Coogan. Obviously, he would have been way richer if he got his money intact. But the challenges made him more famous, and he went ahead to have a very successful film and TV career. He appeared in dozens of films and hundreds of TV episodes between 1940s and mid-1980s. Thirdly, it created an enduring legacy to the young Jacky Coogan, which in the 1939 California Child Actor Bill. This bill was passed by the California legislatures within 48 hours after Jacky's lawsuit was settled. The bill stated that any money earned by a child actor is the sole property of the minor child. Today, the law is commonly known as the Coogan Act. Aside from the money being designated to the child, the law also required that the employer should set aside 15% of the child actor's salary into what is known today as Coogan's account, to be guarded until the child turned 18. This is great legacy in which every child actor, singer, dancer working today owed great debt of gratitude to Jacky Coogan because he had paid the price for them. Jacky died 3 times in his lifetime. Wait a minute, I mean 3 events have occurred which attempted to steal away Jacky's life. But for whatever reasons, he had been tremendously lucky. First was in 4th of May 1935 when he had a car crash through which he lost his dad and his best friend and 3 other people. Secondly was on 4th of March 1941 when he joined the military during the World War II. Because of his prior civilian experiences, Coogan could be able to fly aircraft as a glider pilot. He would fly the US soldiers from the camp to the battle line successfully until one day his aircraft crashed right in the enemy's territory. The enemy soldiers invaded his plane and bayoneted everyone. Coogan was the only one who came out of the plane alive because he hid himself at the bottom of the plane and covered himself with the dead bodies and the dying men. Later, he found his way to escape and return back to the United States. But Coogan finally died in 1984 after battling with heart attack. In conclusion, trying to gather all the debris of captivating events in a man's life is like trying to gather all the grains of sand in seashore. More difficult, especially when it comes to the life of a great man like John Leslie Coogan, who had achieved just so much during his lifetime. Truly, the love of money is root of all evil. It can break trust and destroy relationships. But in a world where someone cannot trust his own mother, his own family, who on earth is he going to trust? In his words advising child actors of the future, he said, "Stay away from mothers," speaking out of experiences. Now, what do we learn in the story of Coogan? Coogan himself learned in a very hard way of the role in which money can play in passing out justice. He said in his quote, "It was the lowest point in my life because my stepfather knew a lot of people and was blackballed by the studios. I found out then that the only thing anybody expects in this world is $1. Without money, you are nothing." Would you ever want your kid to become a child actor? If you are in Coogan's shoe, would you ever forgive your mom? If you are in the shoe of Coogan's mother, would you do the same to your own child? Comment below and let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching.